social network or anywhere, we have the ability to strip out all of the relevant metadata. No face tags, no GPS tags, nothing saying this is your daughter who goes to blah, blah, blah high school and gets on the bus at this time of day or has this after school activity. You don't want people knowing that stuff about you. And you would be shocked at how much information is in your photos that you've posted. When you share to a public site, strip that stuff out. Don't post it.
This is Rick's aunt.
Yep, you can click to listen. Go ahead.
This is Rick's aunt. That just rotates. That's okay. I want to was trying to that it was going to move and on the end, will it take that in? I need to straight. Oh, that's what that thing is for. Look at that.
Okay, let's throw one photo and one document underneath the image stabilizer. And finish scanning. And now click restore. And those two images now have been saved into a cache folder. So now they're automatically brought into restore. So this is a faded image. Which of those 9 images look best to you?
Now, is this subject to the eye of the beholder? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. You've chosen one. Now click on badly faded, just below it.
Is it starting?
So of those 2 starting positions, which do you like better of one of the 9?
This one, yeah, whichever one that you're starting with. So that's the original. And this is what the software edited.
Okay, nice.
You can edit it further if you want.
So now in the so if you're happy with that, you simply hit save next, or you can go click on detail edit. Now we've opened up the screen, so if you want to do more.
Well, it's funny because I'm one of those that I like the autocorrect, so I would be fine with the edit it did. I have a friend in Oklahoma City who I just have learned over the years, don't let her take the pictures on vacation because she wants to go in lightness, contrast, RGB, and make all fine-tuned settings on every picture. She would love this.
So if you're happy, just click save next. Now this is a faded document. So click down on faded document.
Ah, so it's going to take the CPS somewhat out.
It has an algorithm just for documents. So which of those 9 looks best to you?
And then save again.
Save again. So now if you click record, those images have now been saved on the cache. And if you select either one of those 2, so now if you click record, be ready to say something, test 1, 2, 3, 4, or this is Rick's aunt.
This is Rick's aunt.
Now at this point, yep, you can click to listen. Go ahead.
This is Rick's aunt.
If you want to re-record, so click at the bottom. If you read, it says click record button to record or re-record a memory. So if you wanted to re-record because you listened to it, you didn't like it, just re-record. At this point, we're giving you an opportunity. If you wish to scan more, you can. So yes or no. If you click no. Vivid Picture Store improves many different file types: JPEG, TIFF, PNG, DNG, BMP, and RAW images. With scanned and digital photos, we improve color, black and white, sepia, tintypes, prints, slides, negatives if they're inverted to positives, downloads. And with scanned documents, records, letters, newspapers, magazines, downloads, microfilm, microfiche, and a host of different items.
I came into this room, there was a chair, and they asked me to sit down.
Noticed that it was open space and beautiful windows. Didn't know quite what to expect, and so we'll see where we end up. My grandmother was a great teacher. She taught us everything.
Una perspectiva de mi familia puede ser mi propio padre, que me ayudó y me formó para poder llegar a ser lo que soy.
A characteristic of my dad that I think I've inherited from him is a kindness. I learned from him to love everyone and give everyone a shot.
The person who made an extremely significant difference in my life was my grandma. She was my everything when I was a little girl.
Someone that made a big impact in my life is my sister. She did everything for her family, not thinking about her own self. I'm trying to be more like her.
How do I compare to my grandmother? What I think that makes an extraordinary person is, first of all, the talent that they have.
I don't think I'm extraordinary in any way. I think I'm just a regular person.
I feel my life is average.
I don't think I've lived an exemplary life. I'm not sure if anyone would ever want to read my story.
They asked me these questions about my life, and then this movie projector started playing, and it was a video about me.
Hi, Maj.
Hola, Papa.
Hi, Rito. Hi, Lola.
If I were to describe you in 3 words, I would choose integrity. Brave.
Selfless.
I saw my photos on the screen, and it made me think of my families where I came from.
I don't know if it's because you lost your dad at such a young age, but you've always taught us to be close to our family and be grateful.
There's just a feeling of happiness and togetherness.
You never showed any fear. You showed courage and bravery.
You're everything I wanna be. How could I ever help you see the light you gave to me means more than I could ever say. You're everywhere when I run free. With every word and every plea, you brought me back to you and turned my nights back into day. I'm letting go of all the pain, of all the ways I let you down when I was searching on my own. And when I found I've lost my way, I'll think of when you held me close and said, I'll never be alone.
Y siempre ha sido un gran ejemplo para mí.
Es un gigante entre hombres.
They make me feel so special.
You guys just treat each other with so much love, and it's just really great to see that relationship.
You mean the world to me, Mom.
I love you. I think I have the best grandma and grandpa in the whole world. I love you, Lola.
When I saw that video, it made me feel like my story was worth remembering.
When I see that my story has touched other people, it gives me great joy.
Me sentí muy feliz porque veo que mis hijos han seguido el ejemplo de progresar, de ser mejores.
I feel blessed that they have this because that was my purpose, my thought, to give them memories that I have done something to make an influence or to bring joy to them or to touch their hearts.
Seeing my family, I realized that my life was important.
I think we're running out of time for me to say to you the life you lived was so much more than ordinary. And when we have to say goodbye, I'll find a way to have the strength you have, 'cause it's a part of my own story. And I'll remember the way you looked, the way you lived, the way you loved forever.
When I saw my mom and dad, the rest of the family that have gone before, I just missed them so much, and realized all the influence that they have done to shape my character. Made me sad and happy at the same time. It was too much to express.
I want my grandchildren to remember me as their best friend, as their biggest cheerleader, that I love them.
I realized that I've influenced other people too.
Yo creo que mi historia debe ser recordada para mis hijos. Hubiera querido tener mejores películas si tuviera tenido un aparato como este. Sí.
I realized that it's important to leave them a story of my life.
My story.
My story.
Mi historia.
My story
is worth remembering.
Forever is a one-stop shop for all things memory keeping. At Forever, we don't believe in temporary. We believe in permanence. Our flagship product, Forever Storage, operates under the own, don't rent policy. Pay for your storage once and we'll preserve your memories for your lifetime plus 100 years, with the goal of many generations beyond that. We are the only complete memory keeping service out there, specializing in digitization, print, scrapbooking, and even genealogy. Uniquely yours for generations to come.
Ladies and gentlemen, Please give a warm welcome to the Rootstech 2024 MC, Kirby Hayborn.
Hello! Jeff, Stacy, hi. Welcome everybody to the FamilySearch Global Forum. I'm Kirby Hayborn, your MC for today. Many of you are here, you're familiar with everything that with Rootstech and FamilySearch, the host. Many of you are users of FamilySearch, but what you may not have dabbled in the memories and the tree building and the records hints or even indexing, you may not understand just how global FamilySearch is. Today, we will have the privilege of hearing from 4 directors leading the global efforts of FamilySearch International. They, with their teams that dot the earth, are dedicated to helping all people connect with their family, past, present, and future. Please welcome to the stage Ann Harrison, Michael Colmier, Tom Gill, and Stephen Valentine.
Thank you.
Well, hello, and welcome to the FamilySearch Global Forum. We are so excited to be with you here today, and I am especially excited to be on stage with my friends and colleagues, these Homeland Directors at FamilySearch. They lead the efforts for FamilySearch operations around the world, and that's what we're going to be discussing today. So let's start with some introductions. My name is Ann Harrison. I am the Global Director of Engagement. And Michael, as each of you introduce yourselves, just so the audience can get to know you, why don't you tell us what you love about your job?
Okay, great. My name is Michael Colmier. I'm the Homeland Director over APACA, and you'll figure that out here in a second when I talk about it. What I love about my job is this. It's you. It's helping you to find your family in the past, to actually find your present family, and to prepare your family for the future. And when we come here and we feel what we feel, when we see your eyes and we hear what we hear, that's what I love about my job.
Thank you. Tom.
Well, in answering that, first off, my name is Tom Gill. I have Latin America. And I would say the one thing I don't love is probably this. But, you know, I've been with FamilySearch for 16 years now, almost. And one of the amazing things that I love is, like Michael said, is the chance to interact with people here at Rootstech. And I've talked with many of you and seen many of you in the halls and things, and it's just a great opportunity. The other thing is FamilySearch has a great culture. We've had many awards for being a great place to work, and having the opportunity to work with these great individuals that you see here and also out in the hallways with the shirts on, the How Can I Help? It's really a great place to work. Thank you.
Thank you. Stephen.
Yeah, Stephen Valentine, and I'm with North America, Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. And you know, they've kind of stolen the thunder already. I could just say ditto to all that, but I'm kind of the old guy. I've been here now about 26 years with FamilySearch, and I never planned on actually staying that long. But what happens is the cause is so great. The people are so wonderful. And what's the best thing is what they've all said. It's knowing that you can make a difference in somebody's life as they connect and find their family and find that family story that provides healing and resiliency and strength. That's a dream job. Why would you ever want to do anything else? So we're happy to be here.
That is so true. Thanks, Stephen. Well, on Thursday on this stage, Steve Rockwood, who is the CEO of FamilySearch, shared that at FamilySearch, our goal is to ask the question, how can we help? And then we try to answer that however is best for our patrons. That might be through a FamilySearch solution or product, and that might be through something in the industry. There are so many great resources out there. So how can we help? And then answer that question, however is best for the patron and their journey to remember. Now, speaking of remembering, that is the theme here today. And I want to ask our first question to Michael. Tell us a little bit about records preservation and how that helps people remember their story.
Well, that's a great question. Let's talk about that for a second, shall we? First of all, you need to understand we preserve records and get records all across the world. And we love what we do. In fact, we've been doing this since 1894. So we have a little bit of expertise in it. And we really, as our jobs as Homeland Directors, it's really to go find those records and pull them in. Now, in association with that, we thought it would be fun for you to be able to understand just how many records we pull in. In fact, you see these counters to the side. These are for the purpose of helping you understand that while we're here for this short hour, we're going to see how many records during this hour we actually captured. And that's really important for us, to help you to see how much is actually going on. So to help you understand the importance of capturing these records, we have a little video we'd like to show you.
Records. Words on a page. Images once captured, stored up, sometimes buried. Like a treasure waiting to be rediscovered. One in a million others just like it. But imagine what we could learn. Imagine what we could understand. Who we could become if we could simply remember. Within each record is a story from another time. A story of strength, resilience, and sacrifice. A story of celebration, loss, and new dreams. But to someone, a simple record could be that long searched for answer. That clue to who they are. Or that undeniable hope for healing. And record by record, a story can mean something. Its power can do something. Because that story, that record, is one in a million.
Thank you. That's why we collect records. It's that simple. You know, the sun never sets on our record collection because it is worldwide. In fact, we've collected records in over 200 countries around the world, and that continues to grow. And currently, we have 400 camera crews doing that service to help all of you and myself to find our families.
Thanks so much, Michael. Now, Stephen, you recently had an experience where remembering became really personal. Will you share with us more about that experience? Thank you.
Thanks, Ann. Well, it's an honor for me to be here. And about a year ago, I lost my beautiful, talented, wonderful mother. And she passed away. And here's a picture of her. And of course, that's always difficult to lose your beloved mother. So as we went through the grieving process, I found that it was actually much, of course, more difficult for my father. And in those first couple of days, he found that he couldn't have pictures of her around the house. It was too painful. And so he was taking the pictures out and putting them downstairs. It was part of his process. The problem is it got kind of carried away, and then he started taking more of her things. And he got really carried away, and I went up the next day, and I started to find her documents, her photographs, her journals being thrown in the garbage can. And if I hadn't got there right when I did, we were going to lose them forever. So in the garbage can, we found boxes. I found this box, this tomato box, that was filled up with letters and a journal and pictures, not only of herself, but of her parents and grandparents. Priceless treasures as I went through this. It would have been gone forever had I not got there right at the right time and rescued those. Inside the box, in addition to all these wonderful things about my mom, I found this letter. And it unlocked a story about my grandfather that I never knew. And I don't think my mom knew much about this either, because she never shared any of this with us. That letter looked like it hadn't been opened in a long time. It was written in 1921. It was written by my grandfather, John Edgar Rasmussen. And he wrote this letter to the woman that he was in love with. And it was so fun to read this letter to this young lady that he was dating. And in fact, as I did more research, I found out he was very much in love. They were planning on getting married. And here I found a photograph of her. The only problem was, this is not my grandmother. Who is this person that he was going to marry? And why didn't he marry her? So as I did more research, I found an account that one day this young lady was working at the cherry orchards in Kaysville, Utah. And she wasn't well that day. She was sick, and she had been asked to go home. And so in the middle of the day, she was walking home, and she was in her coveralls, and she was covered with cherry stains. And the boys would mock her and tease her as she walked down the city streets because of how she was dressed. So she took to walking along a railroad track. And for whatever reason that day, she didn't hear the train coming. And she was struck and killed and thrown off that embankment down 20 feet. And then I knew from that story, why did my grandfather wait 7 more years to get married? What pain was he going through when he finally met my grandma, Anna Jensen, and married her? Why was he such a kind and considerate and wonderful father and grandfather? And I think it was because of that experience that he had. He'd lost somebody dear to him, and for the rest of his life, he was committed to making sure that everyone around him knew how much he loved them and took care of my grandmother. Now, why do I tell that story? Because you all have tomato boxes. You all have documents that need to be preserved, that need to be remembered, whether that's in your mind, things you haven't told yet, or that's documents like this. Please don't let them be lost. And as Michael says, that's why we go around the world, because sometimes your tomato boxes are in archives around the world. And we are racing the clock with our digital camera crews to get in there and capture those tomato boxes before they're gone forever. It is literally a race against the clock. So as you see that ticker going down, those are our camera crews right now actively collecting the tomato boxes that you need for your family. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Stephen. I love that personal experience, and I also love that it's not unique, right, to Stephen. Like you mentioned, so many of us have those tomato boxes. So many of us around the world are working to not only discover but preserve this rich heritage and remember our loved ones. So Tom, question for you. Tell us about how FamilySearch helps people discover and remember their family story.
Well, I was thinking, my father also passed away back in May, and we had a few of those tomato boxes. I'm pretty sure most of those were filled with 60-year-old wheat, but we have an opportunity. I know, one of the amazing things with those boxes is right down the street is the FamilySearch Library. Many of you have been there. Hopefully you have all been down there. But there's many different tools and equipment to scan photos, to convert some even old VHS tapes. We have family history, or family search, I should get that right, family search centers throughout the world. More than 5,000 of those. Many of those have similar equipment that allows us to take those memories and preserve them and put them online, so that we can always remember and have those stories for others to be able to hear and to see. And so instead of taking all those boxes of tomatoes and sending them to Stephen Valentine's house, bring them on.
Bring them on.
Don't take them and drop them there, but you can take them and you can begin to convert those and store those and put those online. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'd like to ask all of you, the audience, a question now, and that is, where are your ancestors from? What are your homelands? Now, the way you're going to answer that is get out your phone, scan the QR code, whether you're here in person or you're viewing online, it'll work either way, and let us know, where are your homelands? I'm going to ask the homeland directors, just what's one of your homelands? Michael.
England.
England. Tom.
I'll take Stephen's Denmark.
No, you can't take Denmark. Everybody at FamilySearch is sick and tired of hearing me talk about Denmark. Sweden. How about so far away from Denmark?
Sweden. Okay, yeah. Sweden. I'm Sweden as well. So as these answers come in and as you scan this QR code and you add where your homelands are from, we're going to be seeing that on the stage in the word cloud. Okay, I'm seeing Germany, Ireland, England.
Come on, those from Latin America. Let's see some At least get somewhere you served your mission or something.
Wells, I'm seeing. Stephen, you've got the best view over there. What are you seeing?
We need to get Denmark popping up a little higher there, I think is what we have.
So truly, we are from all over the world and have ancestors all over the world. We're joined in this united effort. Well, now let's take a few minutes and ask each Homeland Director to introduce us to their homeland and some of the highlights in their homeland. So Michael, we'll start with you in Asia Pacific Africa.
Super. I just want you to know I have the best homeland anywhere. It's a little bit small, and the reason we call it APACA is because it's Asia, Pacific Islands, and Africa. Just a little bit small. It's made up of 5.5 billion people, over 100 countries, 100 major languages with over 3,000 dialects. To say the homeland I work in is diverse is an understatement. It is crazy, the diversity in this group. But I have an incredible team that helps me. These are just a few of the people that help me that live in the areas and are what we call area managers to help work with archives, to help work with government officials, to work with members and other people to help gather records, to help them understand the importance of this work, to help to educate, and they really do the hard work. They do the hard work so much that they actually helped me by creating a video where we're going to show you some of the things we do in the area of Asia, the Pacific, and Africa.
The Asia Pacific and Sub-Saharan Africa regions encompass almost 100 different countries with over 100 official languages and 3,000 plus dialects. 77% of the world's population comes from this area of the world. FamilySearch employees from across the globe are working diligently to increase the number of genealogical records that are available from these regions so that individuals can easily discover their heritage and connect to their family. Let's take a look at some of the work that we're engaged in.
Japu are records of a certain clan or surname that usually contain the pedigree or patrilineal lineage, their biographical information, clan history, and their family values and teachings. Some of our Japu in our collection contain over 100 generations, dated back more than 3,000 years of ancestor information. We now have digitally preserved about 70,000 Japu titles, more than 60 million digital images, covering more than 500 Chinese surnames. We have 26 cameras currently digitizing Chinese Japu. These images are published on FamilySearch website, which is open to the public, making it the largest online Japu collection in the world. There's a rich family history and culture preserved in our collection of Chinese Japu.
In a dedicated effort spanning more than 50 years, FamilySearch has captured over 150 million images of historical records in the Philippines. This includes 8 million images of Catholic parish records, which is a treasure trove for research. The Philippines was colonized by Spain in 1565 and brought Catholicism to the islands. This ushered the start of 5 centuries of record keeping in the various ecclesiastical jurisdictions. FamilySearch began microfilming Catholic parish records in the Philippines in 1973 and has preserved records from as early as the 1620s. These records provide an unparalleled window into the past, offering insights into the lives of millions of people who lived in the Philippines and connecting them with their families across generations.
The oral tradition of passing down family stories and lineage is a key record among many countries across Africa. Families have often designated a storyteller who is responsible to memorize their tribe's oral tradition, including the names of ancestors going back from 6 to 30 generations. Since 2004, FamilySearch has worked to record as many oral histories as possible, receiving approval from local leaders such as village elders or chiefs. Contractors travel to remote villages, visiting homestead after homestead to interview and capture the family stories and genealogy on paper and by audio recording. FamilySearch has interviewed almost 2 million individuals from 20 countries, recording around 236 million family names, 8.3 million photos, 3.3 million audio recordings, and 1.7 million family stories. In a new experience, Find Your Ancestors in Africa, People from all over the world can easily search these oral histories by surname, tribe, or village for free at familysearch.org/Africa.
A bright future lies ahead of us as we preserve heritage, connecting generations across homelands, and it starts with building your family tree at FamilySearch.org.
Pretty amazing place, huh? But as I said, it's very diverse, and there's a lot of work going on. So something we're currently doing in these lands are to understand better the cultures, the people, and how we can better help them. So what we've done is we've gone to these various countries and done market research, worked with the people, the patrons there to understand more, what can we do to help you? One of those things is we take the FamilySearch.org website and we put a new landing page on it, like this Thailand landing page, where a family, a person, anybody can go to and feel more comfortable and make it more a part of their culture and what they understand. A great story is what happened in South Korea. We've been in South Korea for a number of years, but we found out quickly that in South Korea, they have 200 surnames that make up about 90 to 95% of the population, just 200. So we went out and we talked to the clan organizations. Each of these 200 have clan organizations that keep those lines, those family trees called jokbo. And they came to us and helped us to put together a landing page where anybody can go and click on a name, Lee, and they get to see the history of that family, where they're from, and to see family trees that they, jokbo, that they can possibly see. This helps the diversity in what we're doing across all of these very diverse countries. Lastly, you saw a little segment on oral genealogy. Oral genealogy is an amazing initiative. We've been in Africa, like they said, since 2004. But there's been an incredible amount of effort that's been put there when you see the number of interviews and how many names that we currently have in the database. Well, this is because there are tribes or groups of people there that have oral traditions. They don't have written records. So every time a tribe chieftain or families in that tribe die, we lose incredible amounts of information. So we're now expanding the work of our oral genealogy to go throughout the world. We're going to expand to 5 new countries this year. Let me give you an example of one. In the Philippines, we came to learn that there are 110 different indigenous tribes that all have oral traditions. We are working with the Minister of Indigenous Tribes from the Philippines, who is here this week, to help us to start going and helping them with their oral traditions in the Philippines. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Michael. Wow, 77% of the world's population. That is no small task. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Now, Tom, Latin America is kind of on fire with interest in family history. Tell us about your homeland. Tell us about some of the highlights.
All right. Michael may have all the people, but we have all the users, right? It might be a surprise, but you're putting this, since the statistics are showing up on the screen, it's no longer a surprise. But 1 in 3 of each of our users of FamilySearch is from Latin America. 1 in 5, roughly 20% of all of our users are from Brazil. Of all the new accounts that were created in FamilySearch last year, nearly half of those came from Latin America. The 360 million records may not seem like a lot, but it's pretty significant. And the significance really is that those were all done by computers. We had 100 million records published last year that significantly increased the searchable records in many countries, including Argentina, Brazil, Colombia, Bogota, Guatemala, Chile, Peru. You can keep going down the list. Essentially, every country almost in Latin America received a significant increase in searchable records last year. Some remarkable things are happening there. I'd like to also just show you a picture of our team. We have teams throughout Latin America But more significantly, when we organized by homeland, we also got resources within here in Salt Lake that work specifically with Latin America and with each of the other homelands. You can see some of those if you're here in person, to go into the expo hall and see the little families, in the Family Search booth, the little Latin America corner. We have one for each of the homelands in there. It's an attempt to show a little bit of what we're doing globally. And if you're online, I would encourage you to look for some of our Facebook channels. One thing that we haven't done great at, that we need to do better, is to reach out to the diaspora, those that live here in Salt Lake that share homelands in Latin America. One of the things that's been happening in Latin America is we've had several little mini events. This first one is a book fair that was held in Buenos Aires last May. We'll do that again in May of this year. But really a remarkable thing where we essentially created a little booth, had QR codes with experiences, brought in volunteers to help people build trees, create accounts. And this was by far the most popular booth at the book fair. And these book fairs in Latin America are huge. They get 1.5 million visitors. We had nearly 40,000 new accounts that were created in the 3 weeks. Many new names added to the tree, just a remarkable thing. We've also been holding VIP events with archivists where we can bring them together and share with them some of the things that we do. We also have brought some to Rootstech. We have 10 from Latin America here this week and have had some remarkable meetings. They're blown away when they come and they see the whole scope and scale of what happens here at Rootstech. And one of the things that we've learned as we've worked together and looked at these is the importance of connecting across between multiple homelands. For example, in Latin America, we need records from Spain and from Africa and other places. Those in North America may need Latin America records. There's a connection. We can't just look at this in a silo. The other thing that we have up here is with having homeland teams, it allows us to build, as Michael showed, some of the customized home pages. We also can create experiences that are localized and tailored to our homelands. One of the biggest challenges we had is new people came in and created accounts. Many of them fell out. It was hard to build their tree. We have this new experience that we've just rolled out called a guided tree. And just for example, what's happened with this has been remarkable. On Monday, there was an Instagram post that somebody did in Brazil, a man with millions of followers. This one Instagram post in 3 days has already been viewed 12 million times. It's been shared nearly 1 million times. We've had nearly, over 100,000 new accounts created, more than 1 million names by those new account holders in just 3 days. And that might not sound a lot, but that is just mind-boggling numbers for Latin America. We have other experiences that you may see if you come to the booth called a surname experience that we've used. It's been a great way to start and get people connected to the simple question of, would you like to know the origin of your last name? It can lead to other discussions and a discovery that is really quite remarkable. Many of you have also seen the Get Involved app. It's a great little app that allows us to take what the computers have indexed, and this is particularly important for Latin America. We call it the Participa app. But you can simply look for what country or what area you want to look at, and it will serve up the names that the computer has looked at and said, is this Jose, yes or no? And you can easily go on. A remarkable little tool that we have there. Lastly, just want to mention a few. We have, I think I might have one of these in here, a little card. This doesn't show up very well, but we've used these little pass-along cards with QR codes to share some of the experiences easily with people that we've rode in with taxis or Uber drivers and others. But it's been a great way to share quickly kind of who FamilySearch is, help them find some experiences that create discovery and allow them to quickly begin to think a little bit more about their families. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. I love how the things you're developing for Latin America, the experiences like the Easy Tree Builder, can be used around the world, right? Because so many people need that kind of same functionality, but it's born out of the needs of our Latin America.
Out of a homeland.
Thank you. Okay, so Stephen, North America and Europe, tell us what's going on.
Oh, thank you very much. This has been a lot of fun. He has all the answers, all the people, all the answers. We have all the fun, I think is what it is here. But no, we have a great time. What I really love is what Thomas said and Michael. We rely on each other as homelands. I think you saw this up on the screen. The records that I need are not from Utah. They're not from even North America. They're from Denmark and Germany. And that's true for all of us. You all in this room, what you need, the records and the information you need are all around the world. So we have to work together. A little bit in North America, we started the Genealogical Society of Utah in 1894 right here in Salt Lake City. We've been microfilming since 1938. We have a tremendous collection of records. I think we're a little spoiled that just about anybody with North American roots can find an ancestor. So now we're innovating. We're saying, well, what can we do to make that more of an experience? How can we make that more fun and more engaging? And back to our theme of Rootstech, how can we help you to remember your ancestors? So we're excited that we're launching a new experience here at Rootstech. And Craig Miller was on stage a few days ago and somebody asked him, what if I'm driving around and there's a cemetery nearby? How would I know if I have a relative there? And Craig says, I can't tell you. And it's because he didn't want to steal my thunder, and I love Craig for that, because I wanted all the glory myself. So here I am launching this great new experience that we have around cemeteries. And so for my mom, we'll make it personal. My mom was buried in the Brigham City Cemetery just about a year ago. Now I can come in and I can search by her name and find out what cemetery she's in. Or I can simply type in Brigham City, because I knew that's where she was. And I can go to that cemetery and I see all the people that were buried at the Brigham City Cemetery. So, almost 15,000 people buried there in the Brigham City Cemetery. Now I could search by her name and get right to her as well. But here's what's really fun, and this is the innovation. If you sign in to FamilySearch, we read your tree, we look at what's in the cemetery, and we can tell you, here's all the people you're related to in that cemetery. So I have over 300 people related to me in the Brigham City Cemetery, which means I'm gonna have to buy a lot of flowers on Memorial Day now when I go there. That's a big problem for me. But I had no idea. After all my years, I grew up in Brigham City. I had no idea that I had so many relatives in that cemetery. Now that's pretty cool, but I could even back up and say, well, what about, and also, of course, you want to go see the headstone, right? And so thanks to our wonderful friends at Billion Graves and Find a Grave, we can link you right over and actually see that headstone, of course, because that's what you really want to see. You want to get right to that headstone and know where it is. When you get to the cemetery, there's 300 places to go. You need to find out where they are. So we're able to guide you with our friends to that experience as well. What's really cool is I can say, well, let me back up a little bit. Let me see, what about the rest of Box Elder County? Well, here's all the cemeteries where my ancestors are found. What about northern Utah? And every one of these that are lit up, I have ancestors in all these cemeteries. That's pretty cool, right? But I could back up even further and say, what about the United States? What about the world? We have over 300,000 cemeteries already loaded, and more are coming. This is a global experience, and we think it's so cool we want you to try it out. So get out your phones and scan that QR code and try it out for yourself. If the cemetery's not there quite yet, it's coming. We're adding all the time. We're adding more information all the time. We're really excited about this. We think this is going to be a fun, engaging new way for you to remember your ancestors. So please come and try it out. All right, a little bit now about, and hopefully, we won't lose you the rest of the time while you're checking out the cemeteries, but that's okay too. because that's a fun experience. Just a little bit about Europe. I'm just going to highlight just a few things about Europe. You know, we've been there for a very long time, microfilming and then digitizing records. That's 50 countries, 26 languages, a lot of diversity there. We have a tremendous set of records, but there's big gaps as well. And you know, Tom was talking about what's going on in Brazil. Well, we need Portuguese records and Italian records for Brazil and many other areas. So we've been actively working on that. We have an amazing team, like Michael and Tom do in their areas. Here's some of our team members from our Europe team, and actively going throughout Europe trying to gather the records that you need and those tomato boxes you need. So here's a few examples. This year, very excited. We've been in Portugal for 45 years, microfilming and then digitizing their records. And this year, we're now launching for Portugal, 130 million images and over 700 million names will come online this year for the first time ever. So we're really excited. For those of you who have Portuguese ancestors, we know that's going to be a huge thing in Latin America. Another project that's been years in the making is in Italy, where this has actually been our single largest digitization project that FamilySearch has undertaken to date. And that's going to launch. The majority of that content is going to come online this year. And so you see over 500 million names, 200 million images that are going to come available online. So we're really excited for Italy. And then one last highlight is in Ukraine, where we have been working for the last 3 years. We've been digitizing records at a very rapid pace. We're already up to 40 million images in Ukraine, and we're indexing and digitizing those as quickly as we can. So just a few highlights of what we're doing in Europe to help you from around the world.
Thanks so much, Stephen. Now, we'd like to give you the opportunity to ask some questions of our Homeland Directors. If you have any questions about what we are doing around the world at FamilySearch, so get out those phones again, scan the QR code. Again, whether you're in person or online, you can use this QR code. As you're thinking of your questions, I'm going to start with a couple, and I would like to ask Tom, first of all, are you seeing growing interest in family history among young people and also non-researchers? Are they getting more interested in family history?
Okay, excellent. I thought you were going to ask, my kids are probably asking for more allowance or something, right? With youth, it's been interesting. When I started, there were very few youth that were doing family history. Now today, you'll see many of them that are here. It's been remarkable here at Rootstech. We have kids and that pay their own way to come, you know, and they've been coming for many years. What used to be virtually no youth doing family history has grown to be literally hundreds of thousands. It's also been something that, you know, as we've created simpler tools and we've moved from making it, well, we've simplified so many ways, which has allowed many to discover and do things with family history that doesn't have to be research and doesn't have to be hard. And one of the things that we really look for is how do you create simple tools that allow just the everyday users or the first timers to really have an experience that turns their heart and doesn't turn their stomach. So,
can I add to that as well? I love what Tom's saying. I remember when I was a kid, and we had these big 4-generation sheets that my mom would bring out, and I just wanted to pay to run instead of pay to play, right? But what we're finding now is the fastest growing demographic at FamilySearch is that 18 to 30-year-old market. And the reason why that is they're coming and they're seeking to know about themselves. You know, sometimes we think of family history as about some distant ancestor. They need to know their own identity. In a world that's so confusing and so much social media and other messages, they're coming to find themselves. And they find strength and resiliency and purpose and confidence in themselves. And it's so exciting to see that. We've seen that this week with the thousands of people who've been here, the young people.
Yeah. I think the other thing that's great about the youth is that they open up to us new ideas on how to look at it. I mean, as we know, Steve constantly has said, you know, this is the most documented age of all time with all the selfies and stuff. But they find ways to help show us the family and can help deliver those messages and tell those stories.
That's so true. I'm just thinking of the young adult event we had last night and how there was just so much energy and excitement. And as they participated in the Puerto Rico service project, doing some family history activities, it was just like not hard at all, right? Some in the older generation, I'll put myself there. It's a little bit more tricky to use some of the technology, but not for this group.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean, think of that. We had what, 5,000 young adults here last night. Much more than in the audience right here, right now. But one of the coolest things we did last night was connect them to a group of young adults in Puerto Rico, which was one of the first times. And we'd like to see more of that where we can actually connect them together, because so many of them feel isolated in doing this. But family history helps them to connect, not only just with their own family, but across to others that extend beyond.
That is so true. Okay, here's a question that's come in, and I'm going to ask Stephen, but anyone else chime in. Why is a focus on diaspora communities so important, and what is FamilySearch doing to help?
Yeah, thanks. It's such a great question. I think we've been touching on this, and I hope that you've picked that up. So it's interesting, when we talk to certain archives or certain organizations or governments, they, of course, focus on their records. They have to. That's what their mandate is. They focus on their collections and their archive. But we can't do that, right? We love and support that, but our patrons, our members, our people coming to FamilySearch, they're looking everywhere. So that means we have to connect them everywhere, which is why our records, but also our tree is so fundamental, right? As we connect into the tree, what we find immediately is those tree connections go global. And so our friends throughout Latin America, we find out they need records in Spain and Mexico. The Philippines diaspora is global, yes. Right? People all around the world need to come back into the Philippines and find those records. So we are a global family. We can't think just about one or two countries. We have to think about the whole world.
I mentioned that Instagram post that went out. Well, it started in Brazil, but it crossed quickly over into Portugal as well, and things are exploding in Portugal. So.
Yeah, thank you. So Michael, a question for you. What about the importance of living memory? And maybe you can define what living memory is, and then how is FamilySearch trying to help with living memory?
Great question. So living memory is no more or no less than just us going out and starting to preserve information about the family we know today. It may be that you go out, and we actually have an app called Memories. And you could take that app or many of other apps and go to Grandpa, Grandma, or in our case, Mimi and Papa, and go and ask them questions and just let them talk. It's the opportunity to take bunches of pictures and maybe put down below them some description or some information about what that picture was, what was the event, etc. It's creating family trees, but it's simply going out and starting with your parents and your grandparents and just letting the feel of it, the spirit of it, start to envelop the family. Tell the family stories. So living memories is nothing more, nothing less, again, of us gathering information about our families for our posterity.
Yeah, I think for us, we've been doing this for a long time, and we have tremendous amount of content. The hardest place for us actually is in the modern period. It's between right now to about 1950. That's actually the hardest part. And you think that'd be the easiest, but it's not, right? We don't. That's the gap, and it's the gap that you can close. It's your tomato boxes, right? It's what you know, and we need to get that documented. We need to get it in the tree. We need you to share memories, not for us, but so that your family has those, so your family can connect. That resiliency, that dependence. But that is the gap. That's the importance, as Michael said, of living memory.
Yeah, thank you. Today's living memory is tomorrow's past, right? And it's that documentation that helps us then connect with all the trees. So thank you so much. Okay, another question here, and let's have Tom answer this one. What new experiences is FamilySearch creating to help us remember? You talked a little bit about that, but tell us more about some of these new experiences.
Well, I think, Stephen showed one with the cemeteries. What a great way to look and discover. I just love that there's many people that walk into a cemetery, and what's the first thing they want to know is, am I related to anyone here? One of the best things that we, with Rootstech is the relatives at Rootstech. That was a great way to easily, that's been around for a while. But things like the guided tree that we've developed. It's just a much easier way. Most of you won't ever see it because it's for someone brand new, but many of you will have others that will come into the to FamilySearch, and it will help people that are coming for the first time. Everyone that adds and builds is a benefit to us because eventually it starts connecting and helping us all extend our trees. I think it's just a lot of, we heard the other day about some of the other tools that we're developing with family groups, this new Connect app and things. We have several things that are out there that continue to be developed to help people discover and make it more simple.
Great. Any other thoughts from anyone else?
I think that the innovation now, and we saw this with Michael's as well, is the key thing is now it's in language in so many countries of the world. And these experiences being created are really localized experiences that will be personalized for them, right? Things that are of interest to them. So what we might have in North America is going to be very different from in Michael's areas. And that's a great progress for us.
It's been extraordinary to see in the homelands as we've started to put these new landing pages in place and starting to localize this experience for all these different cultures. The response has been amazing. We've seen fourfold users coming on when they see and they start to understand based from their perspectives. We have to remember, we're not the only society that reads left or right. We're not the only society that looks at our trees in the way we look at them. In Asia, they start way back in 200 or wherever, and that family line from, as Elder Gong says, Father Gong, they look at things very differently.
So true. Well, thank you. Okay, Stephen, a question for you about commercial companies. The question is, what is FamilySearch's relationship with commercial companies?
Yeah, we get this question all the time. Of course, we're a nonprofit, FamilySearch. We're sponsored by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and yet people come to Rootstech and they see Ancestry here and MyHeritage and Find My Past and many, many others out in the expo hall. We love our friends in the industry. We want more and more friends in the industry like that. What we see is innovation. You've seen that throughout this conference. We've seen innovations in DNA. We've seen innovations in artificial intelligence and in so many other experiences. We've seen so much investment that they're putting into bringing more records available to all of us. Everybody wins when there's more technology, when there's more content, when there's more ways to share. We're just delighted by that. We want that to grow around the world because since we started in 1894, we started simply by saying, how can we help others? And now that's continuing on today. We don't do anything without our partnerships around the world, and we're so delighted about it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely. Our partners they're what keep this industry going, right? We couldn't do this without so many.
And I might even add that it's not just commercial partners in there. We have incredible relationships around the world with the Catholic Church and with Jewish leaders and others. Absolutely. And they're great friends and have helped us immensely.
Thank you. Okay, Michael, tell us a little bit more about oral genealogy and why that's such a focus for FamilySearch.
The number one thing I can say about it is once you go out and you experience doing these oral genealogies with these tribal chiefs, for example, and we went out just recently and did one, and he was able to give us over 700. It was like 736 names that he remembered in progression, and then some of the side families and things, and talked about his experiences in that. He passed away 2 days later. And we were just like, wow, what if we hadn't have caught that? And now we look at how many people are passing away all the time. And then when we started opening up and started saying, we need to get out to these other oral tradition groups is important. An event that Stephen did in Granada, Spain, we had a gentleman from Cape Verde come. And he came up to us, and it was, I wouldn't say desperate, but there was pleading in his eyes. And he said, what can you do for us? We desperately need your help. We don't have the means to do this, but we're on oral traditions so much in these islands. Can you come? And that's one of the new islands and new nations we'll be actually helping with this year.
Thank you so much. Okay, a question coming in about DNA and what is the role of DNA and how does FamilySearch view it? Stephen, would you share?
Would you give me the hard questions? Is that what it is? Well, I would
been
put
here
that
for 26 years. Come on.
Yeah.
I would put that exactly in the same category of what I just talked about with our friends in the industry, which is, FamilySearch is not going to invent it all. We simply can't. We have this huge global mission. We are delighted, so delighted that others are innovating in this space. We want everybody to take advantage of it. We want everybody to be able to take a DNA test as it makes sense for them and make those connections. We love that. And we're so glad that there's so many companies out there that are providing those services, because as those genetic trees are being built, that's connecting the living to their cousins. And then, we are then delighted to help them get into these records and other content from around the world. So I think the same question would be asked about artificial intelligence. Are we going to be able to provide all the artificial intelligence tools? No. And that's fantastic that we're not, because there's all these other providers and friends that can do that. So we are cheering them on, and we're so excited for it.
Yep, it takes everyone. Thank you. So I love this question that just came in. It says, how can we as individuals help? We've been talking about the question FamilySearch has, how can we help? But one of our audience members has said, how can they help? Tom.
Okay. I mentioned the Get Involved. The Get Involved has multiple things that allow you to help the effort. Simply just going in and checking names, well, what that does is it helps the computer the next time run through in kind of a feedback loop of improving that over and over. The nice thing that we had is we had all the experience for all the volunteers that have been indexing for so long that allowed us to basically run those through a computer to say, all right, when you see this, think Jose, or think, John or Joseph, and this is Smith, and you can help to, teach the computer that, no, this is not, John. And there's multiple things. There's tree hinting things. There's other things to build the tree. Really, when you look at the experiences that we have, the experiences really tie back to the tree. When the tree is full and complete, we mentioned Puerto Rico. We have a remarkably well-built tree from the help of a record linking lab at BYU, and many are involved with that in attaching hints and things. That's a remarkable thing that helps, because then we can serve up experiences that help people discover.
Can I say one thing here? I am so passionate about this topic. For many years, I was involved very closely with many of our volunteers, and just quickly, I met a wonderful woman down in Provo, and because of some issues that she'd had in her health, she could only use these two fingers. And she would sit at night. She'd wake up at 2 in the morning because she couldn't sleep, and she typed and indexed with these two fingers. She did over 1 million records with those two fingers. And I think about her contribution and what it did for her and what it's done for us. And many of you here have participated with us, and we want to thank you. We love you. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. We are honored.
That's truly a testament to everyone can do something, right? The technology has advanced so much that anyone can participate, anyone regardless of their skill level, right? There's some things that we need the professional genealogist to do, but there's so many things that others can do. Thank you. So we have a question here about the cemetery search that you talked about, Stephen. Does the cemetery search work in Europe?
That's a great question, and I would invite you to come to our booth and try it out. But we are loading more cemeteries all the time. We're going to be adding more language translation to that experience. So this is not a North American experience. This is going to be a global experience. We're just rolling it out right now, so it's not all the way where we want it to be, but it's coming fast. So keep stay tuned. That's going to be it's a global experience. So thanks for the question.
I had that same question about Latin America, and we'll get there eventually, right? So as we add more in,
we are moving quickly. Yeah. Thank you.
It's funny you bring up the cemetery thing. Just this last couple months, we've signed deals working with our partners to start collecting information in Thailand, Korea, Japan, and other countries in Asia that we're going to be contributing to that. So we're running as fast as we can to get that information.
A global experience for sure.
So cool. So Michael, a question for you. It says, how can we as family history enthusiasts help you to get more records for our area of interest? And all the Homeland Directors, is there something that our users can do to help FamilySearch get more records?
You know what's interesting is that as I fly around the world and meet with members, I'm amazed at how many connections people have to whether it's with government officials or archives or, and it seems that we have an opportunity to help us understand who's there and make good impressions in the respect that we want to help them. Of course, we go out and we say, we want to preserve your records. And we do this for free, and we explain why. But it's the people in the lands that are viewed as really good examples that help us the most to prove who we are.
Yeah.
Because when we go travel, they don't know us. But when we have members of the church or patrons from this that know who we are and can help other people to understand what we do from another person's view, that helps tremendously.
Great. Well, I know we're short on time, so Michael, I want to turn it over to you. Tell us about this ticker for our images and where we're up to.
Let's see, we're at, oh my heavens, 28,000, almost 29,000. Okay, Stephen and Tom, let's do a little math here. Okay, now how many work days a year are we doing this? We work our missionaries and volunteers pretty hard. If I'm not mistaken, can this be right? We're gonna bring in over 200 million records this year. And if I'm not mistaken, Tom, that equates to how many possible people, individual people?
200 million.
At least 200 million.
At least.
At least 200 million. And that's just what FamilySearch is doing. Think what all of you can do also to help us and our partners. We again thank you for everything you do to help us. And we are all about helping to remember those around us.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ready?
All right. Thank you, Ann, Michael, Tom, and Stephen, for all of your insights. This concludes our final Rootstech Forum. In 30 minutes, we'll be starting our final general session with Broadway sensation Kristin Chenoweth. So sit tight and come on back. I'm sure that all of you know that Family Discovery Day is in full swing with loads of fun activities and games for everyone to enjoy. So check it out in our expo hall. It's just right over there. Before it closes, today it closes at 3 p.m. So I'm excited to do our general session. So thank you all so much, and we will see you soon. Thank you.
On MyHeritage, you can build your family tree and make amazing discoveries about your family history really easily. Let me show you how. First, go to myheritage.com. Sign up and enter a few names. You, your parents, and your grandparents, or whatever information you have. Pretty simple, right? That's my great-grandma. MyHeritage found her name in another family tree, which added 50 relatives to mine in one click. So you can grow your family tree and make new discoveries instantly. MyHeritage has billions of historical records from around the world that reveal new details about your ancestors. You can search the records yourself, or sit back and watch the discoveries roll in. I also discovered this photo of my grandfather's parents. Now I finally know what they looked like. MyHeritage has great tools to colorize my black and white photos and bring my blurry photos into focus. I never imagined it would be so easy to discover my family history. You can also download the free MyHeritage mobile app to make discoveries on the go. Visit myheritage.com and start your family history journey today.
Find the missing connections in your family with Family Tree DNA. As the only company to offer autosomal DNA, mitochondrial DNA, and Y-DNA testing services, Family Tree DNA is the place to go to discover more. More about your ancestry. More connections in your family tree. More surnames. More generations. Where will your DNA take you? Test with Family Tree DNA and and find out today.
Records. Words on a page. Images once captured, stored up, sometimes buried. Like a treasure waiting to be rediscovered. One in a million others just like it. But imagine what we could learn. Imagine what we could understand. Who we could become if we could simply remember. Within each record is a story from another time, a story of strength, resilience, and sacrifice. A story of celebration, loss, and new dreams. But to someone, a simple record could be that long-searched-for answer. That clue to who they are. Or that undeniable hope for healing. And record by record, a story can mean something. Its power can do something. Because that story, that record, is one in a million.
Mylio Photos opens the door to accessing, organizing, storing, and protecting a lifetime of memories. You can have all your photos at your fingertips, synced effortlessly on all your devices. With Mylio Photos, I can be cloud independent. I can see and view my photos without the internet. Even the biggest photo and video library can be collected, protected, and accessed on any device, anywhere, at any time.
Do you wish that you could earn a university degree, but think you can't because of high tuition costs, lack of time, fear, or other obstacles? BYU Pathway Worldwide removes these barriers by providing access to spiritually based degrees completely online from anywhere in the world, and at a significantly reduced cost. Here's how it works. In association with BYU Idaho and Ensign College, BYU Pathway Worldwide offers access to online certificates and degrees in areas of business, technology, health, communication, family, and professional studies. Every degree program is built with certificates, and a certificate is typically made up of just 5 courses and can be completed in 1 year or less. To build a degree, you select 3 marketable certificates that stack into an associate degree as well as a bachelor's degree, and for no additional cost or time. One of the best parts about earning certificates on the way to a degree is that you can get a job or improve your employment way before graduating. In fact, more than half of all students who are seeking employment report making more money after completing their first certificate, and then see an even bigger income boost after completing a bachelor's degree. And because every course is online, you never need to come to a university campus, allowing you to study from home, fitting coursework around job schedules or other personal responsibilities. But perhaps the most meaningful aspect of pursuing a degree through BYU Pathway Worldwide is the spirituality it builds within students. Religion courses teach spiritual doctrines from the Holy Scriptures and modern prophets and apostles that deepen conversion and bring people closer to God and Jesus Christ. 94% of students say that their participation in BYU Pathway Worldwide increased their faith and their testimony of the Savior. Most students select the preferred path, which starts with Pathway Connect. It is offered at a reduced cost, and no ACT or SAT are required for admission. Pathway Connect includes a blend of foundational, academic, and religion courses that teach life skills and will help you see increased success, no matter your age, and every course counts toward your degree. In addition to these courses, students also gather once a week to support one another and participate in educational and leadership activities related to their courses. You may choose to gather virtually through online groups or in person at a local church meeting house. Tuition prices are significantly less than what you would pay somewhere else. In summary, BYU Pathway Worldwide makes higher education attainable for everyone, including people who thought it might never be possible. With BYU Pathway's low-cost, online, spiritually based programs, a university degree is within your reach.
BYU Pathway has helped me professionally in that I was able to get a better job that did increase my pay, allowed me to provide better for my family, and I feel like the Lord has blessed me greatly.
BYU Pathway has helped me to continue to grow in my field.
BYU Pathway allows you to change, to become better in ways that you didn't know you needed to become better.
BYU Pathway certificates helped me to get better jobs because I had the experience with the English and also with all the knowledge that I had to know.
BYU Pathway is a life-changing opportunity. If you get it, grab it, because it's going to change your life.
BYU Pathway Worldwide brings an innovative approach to education. I encourage each person, regardless of age, to continue to learn. Pursue whatever path will be most valuable to you and to your own family. You will be blessed as you do this. You will grow academically, professionally, and spiritually as you seek to enhance your education.
This is Rick's aunt.
Yep, you can click to listen. Go ahead.
This is Rick's aunt.
We talk a lot about living in the present, but the present doesn't exist without the past. I want to know where I came from. Family, faith, and food, those are some of the most important parts of my upbringing. They've brought joy, comfort, and meaning to my life. I'm just starting this next part of life, and by learning more about where I come from, I'll better understand who I am and where I'm going.
Discover the rich tapestry of your family's history with Roots Magic, the ultimate genealogy software. With the release of Roots Magic 9, exploring your family tree has never been simpler. Join the thousands of family historians who trust Roots Magic as the place to plant their family tree. And for a limited time, Rootstech attendees can enjoy our new version 9 and save up to 50% off the regular price. Get it today at rootsmagic.com/rootstech.
looking at the future and like what's about to come has definitely caused me to look more at the past, because where I came from has made me who I am. I'm super excited to go to the UK. I'm gonna see where I'm from, where my ancestors walked.
It's really cool to be standing where they got married. Like, it makes it feel so much more real. Like, this is where they started their family.
Becoming a new parent is scary, but seeing that my ancestors and the people before me have done it over and over again gives me a lot of hope that I'll be able to do it too.
Have you or someone you know had an unexpected discovery after taking an at-home DNA test? Perhaps you are adopted or a donor-conceived person? DNA Angels is founded on the principle that it is a fundamental human right to know who our biological parents are. Our mission is to promote family connections by providing support, guidance, and expertise to individuals facing the complexities of non-paternal events, donor conception, or adoption. DNA Angels, finding families one DNA strand at a time.
File Shadow, your personal library, metadata. A picture is worth 1,000 words, and metadata is additional information about a picture. For example, you may see that this is a complex overpass, but do you know where this particular overpass is? File Shadow has the ability to read, display, modify, and write several metadata fields typically embedded in a photograph, all without changing the original file. File Shadow stores the metadata separately from the original, and is only blended with the original when a new file is created during a download operation. This is very useful when shuttling photos between applications. The metadata fields supported by File Shadow include title, description, event date, geolocation, both modern and historic, object tags, person tags, and face regions. All of these fields are read when a file is imported and are displayed in the File Details view. It is in this view that you can add and edit metadata. When metadata is added, removed, or edited, those changes are stored alongside the original and only blended together when the file is being downloaded. Each of these fields can be edited in place by tapping on the edit icon, or can be edited by tapping the 3 dots, More button, then tapping on the field you would like to edit. If the photo did not have a particular metadata field, you can always add that field with this menu. Title. The title field appears at the top of the image. By default, the name of the file is used as the title but can be set to something more meaningful. Tap on the Edit button to make a change or choose Set Title in the menu. Description. The description field, sometimes known as the caption, is an unformatted text field, typically used to describe the circumstances associated with the photograph. Tap on the Edit button to make a change or choose Set Description in the menu. Event date. The event date is used to designate the date the photograph was taken rather than the file management dates. For example, a photograph taken in 1885, scanned in 2010, which is displayed as the creation date, then imported into File Shadow in 2023, which is displayed as the uploaded date. Setting an event date to 1885 would be generally more useful. Tap on the Edit button to change the event date or choose Set Event Date in the menu. Location. 2 different location fields are supported. Modern, using GPS coordinates, a map view, and a pin to identify a location. And the historic, consisting of a set of text fields to describe the same location, allowing for the description of a location prior to the deployment of the GPS system, or changes in political boundaries. In the top section is a familiar map view that lets you set and view the current address. The lower, historical portion are the text fields used to describe the same location prior to political boundary shifts and GPS coordinates. Information entered in these fields are accumulated in the Family History Format field. Tapping on the Copy button copies everything into the Location Name field, which is stored and later written out during the download operation. Object tags. The object tags are generated automatically when a photograph is imported. If the photo already contains object tags, they will be added to those generated automatically. These tags identify the things or objects in the photograph. To delete a tag, tap on the X button. Custom tags can be added by tapping on the plus button at the bottom of the tags section and entering the new tag as text. People tags and regions. Beneath each thumbnail is an option to detect faces. Once tapped, the system will scan the photograph to see if any faces can be found. If one or more are found, each face will be boxed with a dotted line. These boxes are known as face regions. Tapping on a box will allow you to associate that face region with a person. If the person is not in the list, you can tap the New Person button to enter the name and a bit of information about that individual. Once identified, the box will be changed to a solid line. Unchecking the person box will allow you to identify an object in the photo not caught by the automatic object tagging system, such as the name of a horse, dog, or building. Thank you for using File Shadow. If you have any questions, please tap the chat support button on our main page in the lower right corner.
Hi everyone, I'm Gina Filibert Ortega for Genealogy Bank. Sometimes it's best to go back to the basics, and that's exactly what I want to do in this video today. I want to look at the simple search on Genealogy Bank. The simple search on Genealogy Bank may seem, well, simple, but in actuality, it's an important tool to search for your ancestors. Combined with other tools to narrow your search, the simple search is a great way to start looking for your ancestor on the Genealogy Bank website. So let's take a moment, let's go to the website, and let's do some searches in the simple search engine and see how it can best work for your family history research. Now we're on the Genealogy Bank website, and we're going to look at the simple search. So this is the search you find on the home page of Genealogy Bank, and like its name suggests, it's simple. Just 3 fields of information to enter: the first name, the middle name or initial, and the last name. Now, what are the benefits of this search? There's actually quite a few. For example, conducting a simple search allows you to get a sense of how many results you might find using your search terms, which can then help you decide other words to search or ways to narrow your search. A simple search is also useful if you're researching a less common name. It might help you to find what you want very quickly. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that the simple search is a very broad search. So if you're searching for a common name, it will return too many results. But that's okay. You can narrow that search down. It's at least a start. So let me show you what I mean. Now, we're going to start by searching for Mary Ann McNeil. And for our purposes today, I'm going to put Mary in the first name, Ann in the middle name, and then McNeil. Now, just so you know, you can put Mary Ann in the first name, leave the middle name blank, and then put the last name McNeil, or you could actually put Mary Ann McNeil in the first name box. So you might want to play around a little bit as you search for your ancestor to see what results you get back. Now, I'm going to go ahead and click on search. So I get a lot of results. I get over 5,500 results. Now that's okay, because over on the left-hand side are the tools I need to narrow that search down. And just for our purposes today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply narrow it down to relevant hits for Arizona, because I know Mary Ann lived in Arizona. So I will update those results. And now I'm down to 49. So even though a simple search can return numerous hits, remember that you can always narrow your search down once you get to your results list. In general, when you search online, you should start broad and then narrow your results little by little to find what you need. Now, as I look at these results, I realize that these are for Mary Ann, so that's great. However, I do need to issue a bit of a caution. We should always keep in mind that narrowing a search too much might lead to us missing relevant hits, and Mary Ann is the perfect example of this. You know, she's just a housewife in the White Mountains of Arizona. So we might expect, wrongly, that she would show up in very few newspapers, just her local ones. But actually, during World War II, she turned 80 years old, and she was in newspapers across the United States proclaiming that she had the largest number of descendants serving in the war. So I would want to search on her in various ways using the simple but also the advanced search and narrowing down and focusing my search to see all that I could find on Mary Ann McNeil. The Genealogy Bank's simple search is a great way to begin your research for your ancestors' lives. And even though it only has room for a name, you can, once you conduct your search, narrow those results down by a place or a newspaper title or a year range or even a keyword. Historical newspapers provide us with information that no other genealogy record does. Begin your search today by using the simple search engine on the Genealogy Bank website. Good luck with your research.
I came into this room. There was a chair, and they asked me to sit down.
Noticed that it was open space and beautiful windows. Didn't know quite what to expect, and so we'll see where we end up. My grandmother was a great teacher. She taught us everything.
Una perspectiva de mi familia puede ser mi propio padre, que me ayudó y me formó para poder llegar a ser lo que soy.
A characteristic of my dad that I think I've inherited from him is a kindness. I learned from him to love everyone and give everyone a shot.
The person who made an extremely significant difference in my life was my grandma. She was my everything when I was a little girl.
Someone that made a big impact in my life is my sister. She did everything for her family, not thinking about her own self. I'm trying to be more like her.
How do I compare to my grandmother? What I think that makes an extraordinary person is, first of all, the talent that they have.
I don't think I'm extraordinary in any way. I think I'm just a regular person.
I feel my life is average.
I don't think I've lived an exemplary life. I'm not sure if anyone would ever want to read my story.
They asked me these questions about my life, and then this movie projector started playing, and it was a video about me.
Hi, Maj.
Hola, Papa.
Hi, Rito.
Hi, Lola. If I were to describe you in 3 words, I would choose integrity. Brave.
Selfless.
I saw my photos on the screen, and it made me think of my families where I came from.
I don't know if it's because you lost your dad at such a young age, but you've always taught us to be close to our family and be grateful.
There's just a feeling of happiness and togetherness.
You never showed any fear. You showed courage and bravery.
Everything I wanna be. How could I ever help you see the light you gave to me means more than I could ever say. You're everywhere when I run free. With every word and every plea, you brought me back to you and turned my nights back into day. I'm letting go of all the pain, of all the ways I let you down when I was searching on my own. I'll never be alone.
Y siempre ha sido un gran ejemplo para mí.
Es un gigante entre hombres.
They make me feel so special.
You guys just treat each other with so much love, and it's just really great to see that relationship.
You mean the world to me, Mom.
I love you. I think I have the best grandma and grandpa in the whole world. I love you, Lola.
When I saw that video, it made me feel like my story was worth remembering.
When I see that my story has touched other people, it gives me great joy.
Me sentí muy feliz porque veo que mis hijos han seguido el ejemplo de progresar, de ser mejores.
I feel blessed that they have this, because that was my purpose, my thought, to give them memories that I have done something to make an influence or to bring joy to them or to touch their hearts.
Seeing my family, I realized that my life was important.
I think we're running out of time for me to say to you the life you lived was so much more than ordinary. And when we have to say goodbye, I'll find a way to have the strength you have, 'cause it's a part of my own story. And I'll remember the way you looked, the way you lived, the way you loved forever.
When I saw my mom and dad, the rest of the family that have gone before, I just missed them so much, and realized all the influence that they have done to shape my character. Made me sad and happy at the same time. It was too much to express.
I want my grandchildren to remember me as their best friend, as their biggest cheerleader, that I love them.
I realized that I've influenced other people too.
Yo creo que mi historia debe ser recordada para mis hijos. Hubiera querido tener mejores películas si tuviera tenido un aparato como este. Sí.
I realized that it's important to leave them a story of my life.
My story.
My story.
Mi historia.
My story
is worth remembering.
Discover the rich tapestry of your family's history with Roots Magic, the ultimate genealogy software. And now, with the release of Roots Magic 9, exploring your family tree has never been simpler. Our innovative new associations feature transforms your research by letting you easily keep track of the friends, associates, and neighbors that shaped your ancestors' lives. Bring your family tree to life with our enhanced color coding and color code sets, making it easier than ever to visually organize your research. Find what you're looking for quickly with the new saved search criteria. And clean up any errors in your tree with our new data cleanup tools. With our two-way integration with Ancestry and FamilySearch, you'll be able to discover even more family connections and expand your research like never before. Roots Magic 9 is designed to be user-friendly and accessible to genealogy enthusiasts of all levels. Join the thousands of family historians who trust Roots Magic as the place to plant their family tree. And for a limited time, Rootstech attendees can enjoy our new version 9 and save up to 50% off the regular price. Get it today at rootsmagic.com/rootstech.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the Rootstech 2024 MC, Kirby Hayborn.
Yay! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third and final session of Rootstech by FamilySearch. Hooray! So excited to be here. I've made so many connections. My favorite part of Rootstech is connecting with all of you. I found we weren't really cousins, but someone found that they didn't have anybody here related to them. They're from Uruguay, and my heart is very tender with Uruguay. And I got this bracelet. Can we see this? It says primo, which in Spanish means cousin. So thank you. There you are. Thank you so much for this. I love it. I'm wearing it today. Long live Uruguay. I'm Kirby Hayborn, and I am so thrilled to be here with you for this grand finale. Can you believe it's already day 3? Whew, time flies when you're having fun, and oh boy, I have had so much fun. Tell me, folks, how has your experience at Rootstech been? Have you enjoyed it? I think you've enjoyed it more than that. Tell me how much you've enjoyed it. That's perfect. That's how I feel inside. As you know, today is no ordinary day. It's not just another session. It's Family Discovery Day at Rootstech. That's my favorite day. And guess what? It's already in full swing. We've got families and kids from all over joining us for a day of fun, learning, and of course, family discovery. That's why we're all here. Now, I know some of you might be sitting at home in your pajamas, and some of you are here in the Salt Palace in your pajamas, possibly. But no matter where you are a part of this incredible journey. And that is what makes Rootstech so special. I don't want to give anything away right now, but trust me when I say that today's session is going to be wicked. Thank you. There's some people that got it. I hope she got it. We've got an incredible lineup just for you. But before we get to it, I wanted to circle back to something that we talked about earlier this week. That is, for the first time ever, we have our Rootstech Global MCs here live in Salt Lake. Please give a warm welcome to Denise, Nagyom, Chloe, Jan, Irene, Hiromi, Nicole, Matthew, and Ariel. Here they are! Oh my goodness. This is so exciting to have you here and to share the stage with all of you. You've done such a wonderful job. So many people are saying how amazing it's been. How many of you, this is your first time here at Rootstech? So a couple, awesome. And do you have friends and family back home watching?
Yes.
What are they saying?
Yes.
Beautiful? You look beautiful, yes.
But you know, as Europeans, as Italians, we always have to see, we always get to see these beautiful events from behind the screen.
Yes.
But here we are, in person, bringing live content to our people at home. And so it has been really amazing. Just 2 days ago, this lady came up to me. I don't know this lady, but she was really sweet. And she said, "Can I take a picture with you? I just want to remember Italians at Rootstech 2024.
Oh, that's amazing. That is so great. So special. What else? What else is happening?
Well, the first comment I received was, "Jan, you gained weight." But many other friends in Germany, they watch it, they love it, and they did a 24-hour marathon, so it's fantastic. The global feeling is real this time.
That's wonderful. That's beautiful. Nicole, did you?
Yeah, my grandma called me yesterday and she was like, "Hey, sweetheart, I'm finally understanding everything that's going on Rootstech," which makes me so happy that she's understanding what's going on here because it's in Portuguese. So I feel just so grateful being here with those amazing friends, just remembering that all nations, all languages deserve to be remembered.
It is so special, absolutely. Now, what will you remember most about Rootstech?
Well, I guess what I want to remember the most is you, like each one of you. I hope this doesn't sound cliche, but you are making this happening today, and you are making impact of your family history. I know most of you probably already played the Find My Relatives on FamilySearch. If you don't, go check that out. And I'm a Chinese. I barely find any relatives in here. Sometimes I feel I've been left out. But I feel like through Rootstech, at this moment, we are connected.
Yes, we are.
And we're related. And you are in my part of my family history. You are here is what I want to remember the most.
Yes.
So thank you.
How do you say cousin in Mandarin?
Well, it depends. I mean, but we would say 兄弟.
We're all Songhis here.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I share something?
Yes,
I come
Irene.
every year, so every year I take something different with me, a new experience. But I will say this year, this is what I'm taking. New friends, 9 to be precise, including you, Kirby. And yeah, because as Nicole was saying, different languages, we're all from all over the world. But this week we've gotten like, we're friends, we're family now. And I think that's what Rootstech does, right?
Yes, it
It's
does.
just create those connections and those relationships that then we take.
Yes. Ariel, what have people back home said to you?
You know, there's a lot of excitement. My mother-in-law is obsessed with family history, and she has her little local center where there are 2 of them together, working together throughout the year. And then seeing this event, seeing the thousands and now millions of people who are joining and understanding, it touches her, and she feels like she's part of something bigger than just herself.
Yes, we all are. Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause for all of the work that they've done. Thank you all so much. You are making this such a beautiful international event. Thank you. All right, thank you guys. First up, I'm thrilled to announce our platinum sponsor, Find My Past. And joining us on stage is Rebecca Miskin. She is the CEO of DC Thompson Find My Past. Please give a round of applause for Rebecca.
Hello. Oh, that was very loud. I'm very sorry. I don't mean to deafen you. Firstly, a very big thank you to FamilySearch for inviting me to Rootstech. It's my first time here, and it is quite humbling to be here. At DC Thompson, we are a family-owned business, and we have a simple purpose: to make a positive impact on the communities that we serve. And we've been doing this proudly for nearly 2 centuries. Thank you. And with closer integration and investment in Find My Past, one of those communities is yours, the thriving world of family history. Now, today, there are over 300 million people across the globe with British and Irish roots. Thanks to Find My Past state-of-the-art infrastructure, connected data, a bank of more than 30 billion digitized records, we are helping this global community uncover their family stories in more detail than ever before. After all, history is all about stories. So where better to look than in pages of newspapers documenting in rich detail, great and small, all the things that shape the lives of your ancestors. Because behind every news story is a family story, a personal story. So thanks to exclusive partnerships with the likes of the British Library, we have the largest British and Irish newspaper collection online. Thank you. So, spanning 5 centuries, this incredible collection contains the stories of your ancestors just waiting to be discovered. We've also made it easier than ever to find your family stories in their pages. With our powerful new search tool, you can use keywords, names, dates, even phrases to pinpoint accurate results in an instant. And that can be added to your tree or shared amongst your loved ones, and all thanks to the clipping tool. So I've discovered some incredible stories about my own family in Find My Past newspaper pages. I was really moved to find my grandparents' wedding announcement from 1930 with an evocative description of my grandmother's ivory lace gown, embroidered net veil, and wreath of orange blossom. So despite this being 94 years ago, it made me feel incredibly close to my grandparents, who I still miss, and also allowed my father and I to share beautiful moments together, which I will never forget. So for the first time, Dad and I could visualize his parents' big day. Now, where else could I find such vivid color, context, and richness about my past? However, I think my favorite discovery is a 1902 obituary of my great-great-grandfather, Thomas Miskin. He was a Crimean War veteran who joined the Royal Navy in 1841 and joined the Coast Guards in 1950. It reveals amazing detail about his life and times. So from his skilled swordsmanship to his heroics, aiding a shipwrecked crew and rescuing a family in trouble. So despite having never even seen a photo of Thomas, these clippings really brought him to life and allowed me to get a glimpse of who he was. So you'll find our new narrative tree helps you do this too, providing a richer, detailed storytelling experience that illuminates not just your ancestors' lives, but the worlds in which they lived in at the time. Now, we've used intuitive AI technology to connect the newspaper archive with our family trees. So aided by our helpful hints, you can unlock the details from newspaper notices, like the ones that I was fortunate enough to discover, and then add them straight to your ancestors' profiles. And you can view and build on all of this rich detail with our new and improved timeline. So helping you visualize and understand your ancestors' incredible life stories, all at a glance. So if you haven't already, I invite you to start or upload your family tree to Find My Past for free. So whilst I've been incredibly fortunate to have uncovered some amazing finds, a moment, please, because not everyone is so lucky. At Find My Past, we believe that everyone, every single person, should be able to discover their family story. Whatever their background, whatever your background, and however difficult or uncomfortable that might be. So I'd like to highlight a significant collection that we are launching this week. Between the 1860s and the 1970s, over 130,000 children were sent to live in overseas dominions by the British government. Known as British home children, many of their stories have been lost to time, until now. In a groundbreaking new partnership with Library and Archives Canada, with Home Children Canada, the UK's National Archive, and others, Find My Past is creating a vast and varied collection of British home children records. Everyone deserves to know their past. Records that highlight this lesser-known and really sensitive chapter in history. So all records, again, are accessible for free on Find My Past. So with billions of exclusive records, a vast network of family trees, a treasure trove of historical newspapers. There is a story to tell for every and each one of you on Find My Past. Stories that strengthen our communities and that connect us to our past. And just as importantly, connect us to each other. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. We loved having you here. Now I have the pleasure of introducing our final platinum sponsor, Storied. Storied is revolutionizing the world of family history by shifting the focus from names and dates to the stories and memories that define our lives. They believe that sharing these narratives is the key to unlocking the true essence of family history. So, without further ado, please give a warm Rootstech welcome to the Storied CEO, Kendall Hewlett.
Thank you. For me, family history is all about stories. Stories are powerful. And we have an amazing opportunity to shape future generations with the stories that we pass down. That's why we created Storied. This is actually Storied's second year at Rootstech. Some of you may recall the tale I told last year on this stage about the twists and turns of our family travels through Spain a few years ago. It was especially fun to tell that story last year because my 90-year-old mother, Donna Mae, was in the audience listening that day. Here you can see her with me at the Storied booth last year, cheering me on. Sadly, my mom can't be here today because she passed away a few weeks ago, leaving a gaping hole in my heart. I've worked with many investors over the years, but Mom was always my first and my biggest backer in life. She invested her time and her talents into me and always believed in me, and she truly was my angel investor. Let me tell you a little bit about how I memorialized my mom on Storied. My mom was already an integral part of my family tree on Storied, and as you can see, the violin was an important part of her identity. More on that in a minute. I found my mom in the newly added 1950 US Census through hints on Storied. Here you can see she was working on the family farm at age 17 as a greenhouse helper, which explains her encyclopedic knowledge of flowers. Storied's a great place to make discoveries, particularly in the hundreds of millions of pages of newspapers in our newspaper archive. Storied alerted me about a newspaper match it found based on my mom's life events from her family tree. This match was when my mom won an award in 4-H in 1949, and the article even included a picture. Hints to the FamilySearch tree allow me to quickly add lots of photos and memories to my mom's scrapbook on Storied. And if you want to get started even faster, you can start by importing your tree and memories from FamilySearch right off the bat. As a family, we wanted to preserve our memories and stories of Mom in a lasting keepsake book that we could share at the funeral. So I created a family group on Storied and asked everyone to contribute. In just 1 week, 35 people contributed 65 stories about Mom. Some family members had already added stories on FamilySearch, so we were able to import them into Storied with ease. It was delightful to see the stories that people created and shared with our group. I learned new things about my mom, and a few of the stories even brought tears to my eyes. Allow me to share just a few examples of the fun stories that we gathered. I shared a story about watching the solar eclipse. If you can advance the slide one more. Thank you. I shared a story about watching the solar eclipse in Idaho with my mom a few years ago. The eclipse was truly magical. There's an almost spiritual feeling of transcendence as we watched the sun melt into the moon, the world dimmed, birds stopped chirping, the temperature dropped, and everything became silent as the world stood transfixed. This was something on Mom's bucket list. Check. But what I didn't know is that riding a roller coaster was also on my 85-year-old mom's bucket list. As we drove by Bear World on the way home, Mom excitedly pointed at Log Roller Coaster and said, "I've always wanted to ride a roller coaster." My wife and I looked at each other in dismay. We decided, well, maybe this roller coaster will be safe enough for her to ride. She was beaming as she got on, beamed throughout all the twists and turns, and beamed when she got off. As you can see here, my mom also loved flowers, and that came through in multiple stories that people shared. Several family members shared recipes that reminded them of Mom. And Storied Now, I'm excited to announce, allows you to collect family recipes and even build a custom cookbook. Awesome. Many contributed memories about Mom playing the violin. And in just a matter of minutes, I was able to sort the stories the way I wanted, add a cover photo, and order our hardbound storied book. And here's the finished product. I've got it right here in my hand. I wanted to bring it and show you. You can also see it there on display at the funeral. And this is something I'm really, really proud of. Each story in the storied book has a QR code. You can see it down there at the bottom, that you can scan with your phone's camera, and it pulls up the digital story online to see additional photos, read and make comments, and more. I added audio of my mom playing the violin to this story, and it was super cool and touching to watch family members scan the QR code and pull up an audio file of her playing the violin and hear her voice again. To close, I'd like to share one of those recordings with you.
My father, Emil Fulner, took violin lessons as a young boy in Nuremberg, Germany. On a few rare occasions while I was growing up, he took the time to get out his violin and play a tune or two. This piece is excerpts from a medley that my father liked to play.
Newspapers and records, to stories and storied books, Storied truly is an end-to-end family history platform. Stop by our booth or visit our site today and learn more and take advantage of the incredible deal that includes a free storied book. And happy storytelling. Thank you.
Thank you, Kendall. Thank you, Storied, for your invaluable support. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I am absolutely thrilled to introduce a true powerhouse of talent and a beloved figure in the entertainment industry. She's an Emmy and Tony Award-winning actress known for her extraordinary versatility. Her phenomenal voice can reach the stars, and she is an absolute delight to be around. Her charisma is bound to light up this stage, and her incredible voice will leave you all enchanted. Do you all know who I'm talking about yet? Let's give a warm Rootstech welcome to my new BFF, the one and only Kristin Chenoweth.
When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. When all the clouds open up that skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found. Leaning from your window pane to a place beyond the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's some land that I've heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away up of the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Rainbow, why, then oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond that rainbow, why, oh why can't I?
Oh my goodness! You are amazing. I was about ready to cry back there. It's so beautiful. We wait till 11:15.
Yes, 11:15.
Yeah. How are you today?
I'm so great.
Well, obviously, you nailed that.
Well, I usually don't speak before noon, so I'm pretty proud of myself.
We are so glad that you're here.
I'm
you are
honored
so
to be
amazing.
here. Thank
so
you.
I have a couple questions for you. I'd love to know, when did you realize that you were going to sing? How old were you?
I think I knew I wanted to be a singer before I could speak. I remember being in church. Mine started for me in church. I was raised Southern Baptist. And I remember watching the choir sing. And I remember telling my mama, I'm going to go audition for the choir. And she said, it's the adults. I said, that's okay. They want me in there.
Such confidence.
So, I know, because I knew God. I knew that's what I was going to do. And
Yeah.
I mean, I was this tall. And she said, all right, you can try out. And they thought it was kind of a joke. And I went to the audition for choir, and I sang a song called I'm only 4'11", but I'm going to heaven, and it makes me feel 10 feet tall. Anyway, I didn't really get in the choir, but I did get a solo, and that began my singing where I am today, I think.
That's amazing. Did your parents know, like, the minute you were born, Kristin is a performer?
I was adopted.
Yes.
And my parents are chemical engineers.
So what was that? Were they excited? What did they?
Well, they should never sing, ever, ever, ever. And I don't do math, okay? I don't do math or science. I know math has helped us a lot with a lot of things.
Yes, I'm sure. Something.
I'm
Something
sure.
out there.
But I was in my bed. This is the story that they tell. I would sing myself to sleep, and they're in the living room, and they're hearing me sing to the Wizard of Oz record, which is one of the reasons I sing that song that you just heard. And they were like, "Is it us, or is she good?" You know, they didn't know what to do.
Does this add up?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so fun. And so you just knew then that you were going to continue on this path?
I knew that I was going to be doing something with people, and I think I realized that music was going to be the conduit. When I was in, I want to say the 6th or 7th grade, we had Vacation Bible School. And we had probably, 500 kids from all over Tulsa, Broken Arrow, Oklahoma area come. And I was praying in this service, and I felt God say to me, and a handprint on my heart, say, you're going to be a missionary.
Wow.
And I thought, oh, okay, I'm going to go to, Africa, India, all the places, even though I like, running water and stuff. But I'll do it. I just didn't know that I was going to be in the entertainment industry and
Yes.
doing it that way.
And
So-
you are. Yes. You're making a difference. You lift so many people. Everybody that comes in contact with you is so excited they come away a better person. You're definitely fulfilling that mission for sure.
Well, thank you for saying that. And it goes to something else I want to say. I have not, who is perfect, right? I have not made the decisions every Christian would make in this business. I have not. And I'm speaking to all of you here like you're probably people of faith, so I'm just going to go with that. But some of you might not be. Who am I to say? But I'm just saying that I have done the very best I can, and I will continue to do the very best I can with acceptance and love for all people. And that's one of the reasons I know I'm in this particular business, is for people. I want people to see God and through me. And I'm, like I said, there's been moments where I'm like, oh, God isn't here because I'm mad. But you know what I mean? I just feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. And until I feel that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, then I'll do something else. But right now, I'm still doing it.
Yeah, and we're blessed because of it. Thank you. Would you share another song with us?
Yes.
We'd love to hear another song. Let's
Yes.
get another round of applause. We'd love to hear a song.
This is a song from Wicked. This is a song that is about forgiveness, love, and friendship. I don't know about y'all, but forgiveness is the hardest thing for me to do with people that I know. You know, if I'm in traffic and someone gives me a certain sign, I might get mad, but I don't get too mad. But my mom always says, you know, if you want to be forgiven, you have to forgive. Anyway, I do try. I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I know you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for. But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better. And because I knew you, because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good. Miss Mary Mitchell Campbell, ladies and gentlemen.
You said you weren't supposed to cry at 11. That was so moving.
Isn't it a good song?
You're here for good. And we feel that.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Kirby.
And Mary, thank you. You're turning the pages and singing. You're doing it all. We have some balls you could juggle too if you like.
Yeah, she can do it all, trust me.
Do it all.
The woman behind the woman, Mary Mitchell Campbell right here.
What was it like growing up? Yes, for sure. What was it like growing up in the Chenoweth household?
I'm so lucky because, you know, they say there's nature versus nurture, but I had nature and nurture.
Yes.
And I know we're going to talk about that a little bit
Yes.
with my biological family, but I feel like God was directly knew exactly where I was supposed to go because a week before I was born, the woman that was supposed to adopt me found out she was pregnant. And she wanted somebody else to have the opportunity to have a child. I don't really ever talk about this, really. So if I could find her and just say thank you to her, because of her decision, my mom and dad, Jerry and Junie Chenoweth, got me, and then therefore I got raised. Was it perfect? No. Is anybody here, did anybody here have a perfect childhood? Anyone? Anyone? No. But I had a darn good one. Yeah. And it was rooted with community, family, faith, and encouragement. The best thing that they gave me, honestly, Kirby, was self-esteem, not to be confused with arrogance.
Yeah.
Self-esteem is the best gift that you can give a child, and they gave that to me. They encouraged me, you know, when in music and art, in a time when, are you sure you want to try to make a living at that, Kristin? I just knew, and my mom and dad just supported it. Thank goodness I got them as my parents.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. You did get to meet your biological mom. Tell me what that was like.
I had written a book in 2009 called A Little Bit Wicked. Don't worry, I'm not going to tell you how the clock is built. I'm going to try to make this quick. Oprah had read it. In there is a chapter about wishing I could thank all three of my moms, my birth mom, the woman that I just spoke of, and then my mom, Junie. And she said, I want you to come on the show and meet your birth mom. I've already gotten this ball rolling. And at that time, I said, no, I want to do this private. That's not who I am. I don't want to interrupt her life. I don't want to bother her. Then in 2012, I was deeply injured on a set of a show called The Good Wife, very, very injured badly. And during my healing time, Troy Dunn, who was known as the Locator, I don't know, maybe some of you guys have heard of that name, he called me out of the blue, and he said, God just told me I'm supposed to go ahead and complete this for you, because he's the one that got it started for Oprah. And I was like, I think that's true. I think I need to talk to her. I need to know who sounds like a chipmunk. I need to know why I'm so short. I need to know who has Meniere's disease. I need to know. Thinking I would just have that. When I met her on 12/12/12, and just this last August she went to heaven, and I feel her every day. Anyway, we were very, very close from the minute I met her. I walked in and she goes, wait a minute, you're you. And I said, I know. And she goes, I see you on the billboard outside. I said, I know. And we hugged, and she said, can you ever forgive me? Oh. And I said, I only wanted to meet you to thank you, Lynn, for giving me life, giving me a chance to live. You gave me life. And my parents gave me a life. Yeah. So if it couldn't have gone better, it could not have gone better. Because, you know, I could have met her and it could have been a disaster.
Yes.
And she said, I never wanted to find you because of my sin. I always prayed that you would find me. And on my birthday, she said, on my birthday every year, I got alone in a room. I said, stop it right there. I went in a room by myself every year and said, God, if you could just let her know that I'm good and I'm so happy. And she said, I did the same thing. Oh, wow. On my birthday. Isn't that crazy?
That's special.
I know, it's cool.
You recently got married.
I finally got married.
How did you meet him?
He was in a band that was playing for my niece's wedding. My niece had found them at Oklahoma University and said, I want that band. They were a band called Back Road Anthem. And I went and I looked at Mary Mitchell was with me because I was going to sing a song with them. And we went early for the rehearsal, and I asked her, I said, who do you think's cute? And she said, I kind of think the fiddler's cute. And I said, I think that guitarist is cute. And we just became friends first. We were friends for a year and a half, just by like FaceTime and emails and getting to know each other, because I was working in Canada on a TV show, and then my nephew got married, and he said, Aunt Christy, I'm gonna have the same band now. I don't want you to sing. I like you and everything, but I don't want you to sing, but I'm gonna have the same band. So they came, and then Josh and I reconnected, and he said, I would like to court you. I said, were you born in 1945?
Yes, that's very proper.
Like,
yeah.
what are you talking about, court? Anyway, he did. He said, where are you next weekend? I said, I'm in Boone, North Carolina. I don't have time. I'm going to be single forever. I'm a bachelorette. I had been the runaway bride twice, and he showed up in Boone, and that's all she wrote.
That's it.
That's all she wrote.
The best part of that story is there's hope for all the guitarists out there.
True.
Right?
Yes.
They're sitting in their basement. Someday, someone like Kristin Chenoweth will love this lick.
Good.
I would love to hear another song. I'm just being
sure.
so selfish. This is for me, guys. I'm so sorry. But would you sing another song?
Of course I will.
Give her a round of applause.
The reason I became a singer, one of the reasons I became a singer, was because of Miss Julie Andrews and her performance, and we all know it. The hills are alive with the sound of your heart. I was doing a Broadway show, and she came, and getting to meet her was truly one of the best moments in my career. So I sing this for her and because of her, for y'all. Bed, I couldn't go to bed. My head's too light to try to set it down. Sleep, I couldn't sleep tonight. Not for all the jewels in the crown. I could have danced all night. I could have danced all night and still have begged for more. I could have spread my wings, done 1,000 things I've never done before. I'll never know what made it so exciting. Well, once my heart took flight, I only know when he began to dance with me. I could have danced. Should I do it? Kelly.
Holy smokes! Yes! Yes! Oh my goodness, look at this.
What? No! Thank you!
Holy smokes.
Wow, thank y'all. That is so nice.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, this crowd can appreciate a high C at 11:15.
Yes, they can. It's the altitude. That's what it is.
I will say that I can hardly breathe. I'm like, I got in late last night. I was shooting a movie in Atlanta. We wrapped up, and I flew right here.
Oh, wow.
I forgot. I come here often, you know that,
We're-
Kirby.
I think we're going to adopt you. You've been here.
Well, I'm already adopted by the Gunnels, so
Yes.
I'm ready. I'm already ready.
Well, the Hayborns will gladly host you, too. So thank you.
Thank you.
We're here at Rootstech. This is about family history and about remembering. That's our theme for this year. What does it mean to you to leave a legacy worth remembering?
Everything. About 15 years ago, in my tiny town, it's actually not that tiny, it's Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, outside Tulsa, they built a performing arts center. And they came to me and they said they want to name the theater after you. And I said, no, I'm far too young. And they said, you're not. I was upset. My dad said, how are you going to be remembered? Like, what are you going to do? It has my name on there, my dad's name on, his dad's name on there. He said, so what are you going to do? And I thought about it. I said, well, I'll come and play. I'll bring my famous friends in to do their act. And he said, yeah, well, what else? Think better. I said, well, I'll have all the Broadway shows come in, and we do. It's a state-of-the-art theater. It's beautiful. And he said, well, think better. What else? How are you going to give back? How do you really want to leave your mark on this planet? And I said, well, I want to give kids something I didn't have in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, which is a performing arts center. I didn't have a summer camp full of, music, acting, and dancing. And he said, do that. So 10 years ago, with the help of this lady right here, Miss Mary Mitchell, we started the Kristin Chenoweth Broadway Boot Camp. And I bring in all my Broadway friends who are stars in their own right to come teach kids. And during COVID, and we do a big performance at the end. It's 2 weeks out of every summer. A couple years ago, we had Kenny Ortega come and film it for a documentary, which it will be seen. We are just working to make sure it's all right. We've had a writer's strike, and things have changed in our industry. But in fact, one of my star pupils is from this area, Alex Farnsworth, who I think is here. I make him come do concerts with me sometimes all over the country because I want the world to see what I'm trying to do and the transition of how incredible this child is, and how his voice is changing, and how he's working with that change and evolving into this incredible artist. And that's how I want to be remembered. That is why I'm here. That's the reason I'm on this planet.
I love that. It's so beautiful.
It's true.
Well, I know all of us will remember how amazing you are. It seems wherever you go, you leave a path of daisies, of flowers, of joy.
Thank you.
And we have truly been blessed today, it's already super late.
It's because there's no windows in here. We feel like it's at nighttime.
Let's pretend. That's why you're able to hit that high C. Because you thought, oh, it's nighttime.
Right.
But
By the way, I just got to look at myself and scared myself. And I saw me, and I was like, who that? Anyway, hi. Hi, me.
And you're beautiful. You glow
I'm
from
all
the
right
inside.
from far away, Kirby. Thank you.
Trust me, I'm close, and you are beautiful. It's been such a pleasure to be here with you today, and thank you for the light that you share, and we will definitely remember today. We would love to hear one more song from you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And thank you for moderating this for me.
Oh, thank you.
So, thank you. So this song is a song I've been singing for a long time. It was written by my friend Victoria Shaw. I feel like I wrote it because it's really my message, and I try to end a lot of my shows with this song, and when I don't sing it, I think, oh, why didn't I do that song? Anyway, this is from me to you. My message is just, let's continue. We live here once that we know of, unless we're Shirley MacLaine, and maybe we've been here a few times. But anyway, thank you for having me today, and God bless you. You will notice me. I'll be leaving my mark like initials carved in an old oak tree. Just wait and see. Maybe I'll write like Twain wrote. Maybe I'll paint like Van Gogh. Cure the common cold. I don't know, but I'm ready to start. 'Cause I know in my heart I wanna do something that matters. Say something different, something that sets the whole world on its ear. I wanna do something better with the time I was given. I wanna try to touch a few hearts in this life, leave nothing less than something that says I was here. I will prove you wrong. If you think I'm all talk, you're in for a shock. 'Cause this dream's too strong, and before too long, maybe I'll compose symphony. Maybe I'll fight for world peace. 'Cause I know it's my destiny to leave more than a trace of myself in this place. Wanna do something that matters. Say something different, something
the whole world on its ear. I wanna do something better with the time I was given. I wanna try to touch a few hearts in this life, leave nothing less than something that says I was here. That is my dream, that is my goal, to always remember why I'm here, what my purpose is, right? That's why we're here today, I think, right? I wanna do something that matters, say something different, something that sets the whole world on its ear.
Wanna do something that matters, say something different, something that sets the whole world on.
I wanna do something that matters, say something different, something that sets the whole world on its ear.
Wanna do something that matters, say something different, something that sets the whole world on. Wanna do something that matters, say something different, something that sets the whole world on.
I wanna do something better with the time I was given. I wanna try to touch a few hearts in this life, leave nothing less than something that says I was
Wanna
here.
do something that matters.
You
Wanna
are
do something that
here.
matters.
We are here. We It's Mary Mitchell.
Mary, before you leave, I need to give you a hug too. That was so awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh my goodness, I know we have all been touched today. Let's give another round of applause for Kristin and Mary. How lucky are we that we got to be here today? So magical. Can you believe that it's almost time to wrap up Rootstech 24? It's so sad for me. I know that time flies when we're having fun, but before we say goodbye, I've got to share some exciting news with you. Drum roll, please. Let me see the drum roll. Boom, there we go. That was very good. Rootstech 2025 is already on the calendar, so book it. March 6th to March 8th. Make sure that you're here next year. It promises to be even better than this year. Remember that all of the sessions, the classes, and content from Rootstech 2024 will be available online, on demand at rootstech.org. In addition, we're going to be hosting many events with fresh content and classes throughout the year to hold you over until next year. So if you miss anything or you want to relive your favorite moments, head over there and dive back in. My sincere thanks to all of you for being a part of this incredible journey. Whether you're here in person or joining us online, we love you. We love this connection. Until we meet again, keep exploring your roots and making memories. We'll see you again next year, you guys. Thank you so much.
This is Planet Earth, and we are FamilySearch. Oh, wait, who's FamilySearch? Well, she is, and he is, and they are. You are. FamilySearch is a free, worldwide family connecting service that is driven 100% by people. We help you discover family across generations through our website, mobile apps, and in-person help at over 5,000 local family search centers. And it all starts with Angelo. Well, no, your family doesn't start with Angelo, but FamilySearch's work does. Angelo is one of literally countless archivists or records custodians from around the world. These records might be names and dates and certificates, but they also might be photos and stories. At FamilySearch, a primary focus is obtaining records so we can make them available to you. To make this possible, we collaborate with commercial companies, archives, and organizations in over 150 countries and counting. FamilySearch is an equal opportunity record preserver, sending volunteers to digitize records everywhere, including where records are most at risk. So a few years ago, Charito helped preserve tens of thousands of records in the Philippines just barely before the originals were destroyed in a typhoon. And Amelia and Samuel are just a small part of FamilySearch's huge undertaking to preserve names from oral genealogies in Africa. But having all these records is only as valuable as your ability to easily search them to find your family connections. That's why Cameron in Indiana, Bryn in Germany, Juan in Argentina, Tsuki in Japan, and tens of thousands of volunteers throughout the world are working literally around the clock. Because while those in Hoboken are sleeping, those in Mumbai are hard at work, helping to verify computer-automated indexing. Thanks to all of them, FamilySearch has over 16.8 billion searchable names and images. That means someone in Seattle